is Rashid Al-Mohanadi, who's the Vice President of the Center for International Policy Research. Good to have you with us, sir. Iran has long warned that any strike would trigger retaliation across this region. And we heard our correspondent there saying that the relationship between Qatar and Iran has already been tested. How can a nation like Qatar respond without making things worse, without risking further escalation?
Well, Adrian, as all of us, we've been woken up by the news of the Israeli and U.S. attack on Iran. And then we were also woken up again in, Saturday morning on a Ramadan day, which people usually sleep in, by the warning messages we received on my mobile phones about an imminent Iranian attack. So first, I'd like to focus on the Iranian attack. The attack on June, there was apparent, enough heads up before the attack happened. This one came at a surprise and a shock to us in Qatar, and I think to the Qatari government. And it came, as waves, not as a single attack. And I think until now, Qatar has been one of the most targeted states out of all of the other Arab states being targeted by Iran. I think the decision makers in Tehran don't understand how potentially damaging this is, not just for Qatari-Iranian relations, but also to Arab-Iranian relations.
But for countries hosting U.S. assets, as Qatar does, are they participants, bystanders? Does it make them legitimate targets regardless?
Well, the view from Doha is Al-Udeid is a Qatari base. We have defense and security relationships with multiple states, not only the U.S., and I think all Gulf states made it very clear that no strikes will come out of Gulf bases. And we can see that using open source information, that most of the strikes happen between the US and Israel from different vectors, not including the Gulf states. And I think what will be read now is that this is, and has been in the statements we've read from all the Gulf states, that this is an attack on Qatari and Gulf sovereignty.
Let's bring in our correspondent one more time, Zain Basravi, who's here in Doha. Zain, earlier today, all of us here living in Qatar, we had alerts on our phone, several of them, advising us to shelter in place immediately. I see the road behind you there is fairly busy right now. I mean, how do people in Doha feel about what's happened today?
Well, when we were out in